'cause I know, fuck that, no more monsters. See that guy, yo, that was an imposter. A clone, an echo clone. Killed him and stuffed him in the back of a shack behind my home. No more monsters, no more monsters, more monsters, more monsters, more monsters, more monsters, more monsters.
Hey there, it's your Goulet, and I'm here to tell you about some merch that dropped in the Midnight Hour store that you should probably check on out. We have a variety of Midnight Hour logo shirts and hoodies for you. Best time of year, fall is coming upon us, and you're going to want to get all cozy in your new Midnight Hour hoodie and ready to fook, because you know I am. We have a Habs Harris shirt, Mr. Bones flipping you the bird, KC Kaiju. He spent all his fucking money on That's My Boy DVDs, so please buy a shirt. Jennifer Tochi out of nowhere, busting out that bell pepper out of nowhere, am I right? Oh hey, there's me, a Limonia Demonia shirt. I love that for me, and so should you. Ice Lord's Ninth Circle. I'm freezing my nips up in there, it's so icy. No more monsters, let me find out. Have Cheetah will view, fast as fuck boy. The Queen herself, May Ann Cinderella. She's coming for your Chucky merch, Chuck. Midnight Hour boobs, classic. Midnight Hour sports bra, cause you don't want them titties flopping around when you're jogging. Bicycle shorts to accentuate that derriere. And we have our Midnight Hour supporting peeps. Papmaster, Lady J Ghoul, Hey Chuck what the fuck, Sean 420, Only Nans, 14 inches. And we also have a variety of baseball caps and beanies if you're nasty. So come on down to the Midnight Hour Army merch store and grab you up something fancy. Boglins. Ooh.
Hey. How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm looking for one of my finger splinters. Finger's acting up again. I don't think this is the right one. Woo! We are midway through 80's week. This cannot be the right one. Give me 1 minute. I gotta look for something. Where are you? That's not you. I'm going to have to use this one until I can find the right one. Ooh, the right one would go down a little bit further on this finger. I wish I knew where that damn right one was. Get all these things. What the hell? Give me a little bit longer. I'm a little unorganized here.
Hey there, it's your Goulet, and I'm here to tell you about some merch that dropped in the Midnight Hour store that you should probably check on out. We have a variety of Midnight Hour logo shirts and hoodies for you. Best time of year, fall is coming upon us, and you're going to want to get all cozy in your new Midnight Hour hoodie and ready to fook, because you know I am. We have a Habs Harris shirt, Mr. Bones flipping you the bird, KC Kaiju. He spent all his fucking money on That's My Boy DVDs, so please buy a shirt. Jennifer Tochi out of nowhere, busting out that bell pepper out of nowhere, am I right? Oh hey, there's me, a Limonia Demonia shirt. I love that for me, and so should you. Ice Lord's Ninth Circle. I'm freezing my nips up in there, it's so icy. No more monsters, let me find out. Have Cheetah will view, fast as fuck boy. The Queen herself, May Ann Cinderella. She's coming for your Chucky merch, Chuck. Midnight Hour boobs, classic. Midnight Hour sports bra, cause you don't want them titties flopping around when you're jogging. Bicycle shorts to accentuate that derriere. And we have our midnight hour supporting peeps. Papmaster, Lady J Ghoul, Hey Chuck What the Fuck, Sean 420, Only Nans, 14 inches. And we also have a variety of baseball caps and beanies.
Found the right one. The right one so that I can splinter my finger. This little finger likes to do the trigger thing where it gets locked in the trigger position. That's why I got one of these. Little brace. Hey, Mr. Bones, Mr. Bones. Woo. Yeah. Ba bum 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 ba bum 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 bum. I have a history of I have arthritis in my hands, and this particular finger likes to basically get locked in that position. Called trigger finger. Really fucking sucks. But we are midway through 80s week 2025. We have had C. Jennifer Tucci, Mr. Bones, Chabot, Pneumonia, Hobbs Horror, Professor Macabro, Mr. Don, and Nanette. Ooh. Man, my arm's pale as shit. But we are here. Talk about 80s week 2025. Woo. We got some of the people in chat who are part of it. Mr. Bones and Chabot. So bring this up. We can. Oh man, God damn! That thing I can feel it wants to lock up. Hey, Professor, we can watch. This is an updated. I made like 2 playlists. There's the normal 80s playlist. This is the updated one. This is the ones we didn't see when Mike Huntz was doing his stream. So let me go over here and we can take a look-see. Hey, Cody.
Oh, hi there. Hey, everybody. Woo. We're halfway through 80s week 2025.
Turn the
And
volume
it
down.
has been a blast.
That
to see what
book I hold up
everybody
is Haunted
thank,
Eastern
everybody who's been
Washington.
part of it so far this year. Hobbs Horror, Mr. Bones, Anthony
So,
Chabot, Pneumonia,
the day 1, some day 3, and some day 4.
Fatucci, Professor Macabro, Mr. Dunn, and Nanette. Woo!
I hope you guys got your stuff ready for day 5.
Hey,
Day 5.
Hey.
I got mine ready.
Hey, more days to go. Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Yes,
Can't
because
wait
we have
to
all the
see
wine, Cody.
what
Come
else
to Washington. We have the
everybody
wine.
picks.
We have all
And
the
again,
alcohol.
thank you. This 80s week is the
Probably have
third
to
one,
too.
and so far,
Well, the good one's not what
bigger
Seattle has.
than the last 2. So, can't wait to see what everybody else picks.
Oops, did I? There we go. We got Mr. Dan here. Got a little bit of music. He's doing Secret.
What's up, guys?
Admirer.
Mr. Dan here. Welcome back
Just
to the channel.
keep
and
my
welcome
finger
back
from
to my
locking
80s
up in
week
trigger
review
position.
Of Secret Admirer.
Yes.
80s Week was created by
Right up
Nico
Mecha
Sarah.
Bros.
Please go check out his channel for his reviews.
Off button.
And
Trying
look
to
at
fix
his
his
community
off
posts
button.
and so forth. He will connect you with some of the other YouTubers doing 80s Week reviews. The theme is non-horror. So, just a few weeks ago on Jim's movie channel, I happened to be a guest.
Yes.
And Jim asked me what my 3
The
favorite
Meanwhile,
sex
Mecha
comedies
Bro.
from the 1980s were, and this was certainly one of them.
Use him to do
I've always liked this
evil.
movie. I always thought it was pretty funny. I was very curious to see how it held up, but I just watched it again today. Finished it about 20 minutes ago, and I was surprised. It's almost like
it's really hard to open things when your finger's like,
some of the raunchy jokes. Although there's not that much of that, really, to be honest with you. There's some sex and sex talk and a little bit of nudity, compliments of Kelly Preston. but it's
Nudity.
a lot less raunchy than movies like Porky's. And to be honest, it has elements of some of the screwball comedies from the 1930s
Yeah.
and 40s,
How the
especially since
fuck?
a lot of the parents are
God
involved. So
damn,
great
this is gonna
casting in
hurt
this.
like
We'll get
hell.
into that in a moment.
Hmm.
But let me just read the synopsis. I think that's the best thing.
Hard to
Lots
open
of puns in
with
this,
that
so get
on.
ready to groan a little bit. An anonymous note sets off a romantic
Anonymous
chain
note.
mail reaction with hilarious results in this letter perfect comedy.
I got
that
my
really
day
pushes
5
the envelope.
already.
When high school heartthrob Michael receives an unsigned love letter, he
Lay
assumes
just
it's from
dropped
knockout
hers.
prom queen Deborah Ann.
Nanette said
instead
she
of
wasn't
pretty
feeling
understated
good.
Tony.
So she said she was going to do
And when
her
Michael
3
accidentally
and day
misplaces
4.
the letter, the juicy jottings soon make their way into the hands of the whole neighborhood, touching off a scandalously sexy soap opera
Ooh,
of mixed up
scandalous,
motives,
sexy soap
mistaken
opera.
identities, and merrily misfired
Yeah,
emotions. It's a fast and funny farce where
yeah.
laughs are unsigned,
Just gonna
sealed, and delivered.
drop them
Okay,
right off
so-
on your bike, Bones.
And the cast really shines in this one. I mean, you have Dee Wallace Stone and Cliff DeYoung playing C. Thomas Howell's parents, and then you have
Thomas
Lee Taylor
Howell.
Young and Fred Ward, the late great Fred Ward, playing Kelly
I
Preston's
remember
parents.
Fred
He's a
Ward.
police
Wasn't
detective,
he in Car 54?
detective who likes to give
Where
her
are
boyfriend,
you?
who's kind of like a muscle
Herman
bound
Monster.
jock type character. He likes to give him, a lot of shit, and it's actually pretty funny. And the parents get mixed up, as I said. Cliff DeYoung's character takes night classes from Lee Taylor Young's character, so she finds a letter and there's some mistaken identity, and he thinks that she has a thing for him. So they start to sort of explore that, and then Fred Ward finds out and contacts D. Wallace Stone.
Friendly
about it,
Men were
and
live earlier.
they end up having a confrontation at
Friendly
a
Men
regular Saturday bridge
interviewed
night, and it's
the
pretty
perfect
hilarious.
innocent.
There's lots of food that flies everywhere in this movie. There's a lot of food all over the place in this movie, and there's a lot of nosy people going into people's wallets and so forth, which
That's some
sort of
cool
facilitates
videos.
the plot. Corey Haim plays C. Thomas Howell's younger brother. This is like one of the most 80s casts ever. And he steals money. Of course, at one point, he gets a hold of one of the letters, takes it downstairs, and his mom picks it up. And thinks it came from the dad. It just keeps. It's like a chain reaction. All in all, it's a pretty lighthearted film overall. Some of the characters do get their comeuppance more than once. C. Thomas Howell's friend, Casey Shamasco, likes to spread rumors. So
Casey, what?
there's a running joke where his van, and it's a very 80s looking van, continually gets trashed by people.
Just don't, bro.
Who are irritated that he's spreading rumors about the love life of some of the high school students. And the resolution is nothing that's going to surprise you, but it is kind of satisfying nonetheless. What are your thoughts, guys? Have you seen Secret Admirer? How long ago since you've seen it?
Have you guys seen it?
Is
I
there a more
haven't.
80s movie than this one? Probably, but I don't know. As far as the cast goes, this is very 80s. Also, Courtney Gaines is in this.
This year's 80s week is turning out.
By. I mean, it's a very lighthearted film. Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments below. And once again, check out Echo Sarah's channel for
send you the bill.
80s week reviews. And I'll talk to you next time. Later.
I think you were like me, Professor. You're too busy being a kid in the 80s.
Hello, Nanette here with day 2 of 80's week.
Did I put the wrong one in?
And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is Once Bitten. And it is about a century-old vampiress.
One of the first times I think a lot of people probably saw Jim Carrey was this movie.
Lauren Hutton. And soon into the story, you find out that she has to have the blood of a virgin or she will turn old. So she tells the vampire.
Why does it always have to be virgin blood? Why can't it be non-virgin blood? Yeah, Mr. Dan
virgin.
made one video and Nanette made
then you
2.
see this guy,
but then she got sick.
in an ice cream truck with his girlfriend.
Oh, she said she wasn't. At least she said she wasn't feeling good.
And his name is Mark, and her name is Karen. No, her name is Robin, and his name is Mark. Her name is Karen. Mark is played by Jim Carrey. Robin is played by Karen Capone. And a fixture in this movie that is in most of the movie is somebody that is the Countess's companion, does everything around the house, wakes her up, does all that kind of thing, cleans the place up. And his name is Sebastian, and he's played by Cleveland Little.
Cleveland Little.
If that name sounds familiar, he is the black guy in
Ooh, yes, I'll set off those metal detectors.
Blazing
Ooh.
Saddles.
Oh, is this really metal? Like some kind of generic thing? 'Cause I don't
But
think the
anyway,
generic ones will set it off. So this might be like that generic metal.
the reason Mark's in this movie, the reason I bring Mark up is he wants his girlfriend Robin to
Yeah, yeah,
sex with him,
yeah.
but she won't. And him and his friends decide to go to
Yeah, somebody wants to have sex
Hollywood
with somebody in
Boulevard,
Hollywood.
and they end up at this restaurant where you call someone on the phone and it's at a different table and ask for the table you want, and you talk to the lady you want to, and or at the bar. Um, the Countess calls to the table that Mark and his friends are at, and they and she wants to talk to him, and because he is a virgin. And it's kind of like Dracula.
Yes.
You have to bite the person more than one time. For this, it's 3 times, and that's usually how Dracula does it. She's a,
Dracula, blah.
um,
I want to suck your boglin.
but in the movie, Robin figures out that something's not right with Mark, and she goes to a bookstore and asks if she could find out stuff on vampires. But,
Yeah, the bookstore always has all your
but yeah,
answers.
that is a little description of the movie I have for you today, and that is Once Bitten.
Once bitten,
And the
twice
movie
shy.
is from 1985. The next time, remember, be the person you're meant to be, not the one that everybody expects.
But what if I want to be something else? I don't want to be the person I am. I'm meant to be. I want to be something else. I forget what order these videos are in.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So we're at
Oh yeah, we have
80's
Lay.
and today's pick is 1985's Just One of the Guys. This is about a teenage
Yes,
girl named
hit that
Terry.
thumbs
She's
up.
popular, very beautiful, has this older college boyfriend, as well as writes for the local school
I like
newspaper.
the review she did. She had those heart-shaped glasses on. She needs to see Hot Eyes and review it wearing those glasses.
The opportunity to win this internship for the Sun Tribune, but she loses on account of her writing not being good enough.
I almost reviewed this movie, but passed over it because of all I would do was make jokes about one scene.
She goes on this undercover mission.
Lay talks about that scene in this review. The scene, the best scene from this movie.
And lives for the next week or so as the opposite.
I don't know if Professor's seen this one or not, but I'm sure if he has, he remembers this scene, a certain scene from this movie. A very memorable scene.
The bathrooms, as well as gaining a lot of female attention, especially from Sherilyn Fenn's character, Sandy, which Terry does her best to avoid. She befriends this very shy, nerdy guy named Rick, with whom she quickly starts taking a liking to. She realizes that she has a lot more in common with Rick, like musical preferences and whatnot, than she ever did with Kevin, her college boyfriend. But because Rick doesn't know that Terry's actually a woman, she can't really give in to her feelings. So she decides to give Rick this confidence boost by getting him some new threads and kind of pushing him to into asking out a lot of girls for the prom. But it kind of backfires on her part. He indeed ends up becoming more confident, and he even stands up to the high school bully named Greg, who is played by none other than Billy Zabka. And he ends up stealing his girl and takes her out to the prom. So while at the prom, Terry is completely miserable as she keeps looking over to Rick and his prom date, and
She wants that
regrets
Rick
what she's done
Putang.
because now she's completely head over heels for him, and she can't stand the thought of him dancing and holding on to another girl. Meanwhile, Greg seeks revenge on Rick and ends up taking this cheap shot and punches him when he's not looking. This causes Terry to attack Greg, and he ends up throwing her into the ocean. Rick gets up from his knockout and he ends up kicking Greg's ass. Terry's boyfriend Kevin shows up, demanding to know why Terry's been so avoidant, and Rick questions who Kevin is, and he replies that he's Terry's boyfriend. And Terry quickly takes Rick away to kind of further explain to him what's been going on. Rick assumes that Terry's gay, and she tells him that she's not. She's in fact a female, and she ends up flashing him her breasts.
And a
Rick, who
nice
is clearly
set,
confused
had
and
a nice
shocked,
rack too.
delivers one of the best lines in the movie, which is, "Where do you get off having tits?" It's so funny, and it
There's
gets me
another
every
line
time.
about
Anyways,
somebody
Terry apologizes and tries to
questioning them while
explain
they're
the
talking, whatever.
reasoning
And he's like, "Oh,
behind
it's okay.
everything,
She's got
but
boobs."
Rick is like not satisfied with that, and he pretty much ends up walking away from her.
But
So
man,
Terry's
she had a
convinced that Rick
nice rack. It just
completely
went.
hates
He's like,
her, and he
boom. It's
goes
like,
on to write
damn,
and submit one of the most
those are
compelling essays
nice.
that gets a lot of recognition and even lands her her dream job at the Sun Tribune for the summer. So Rick eventually ends up outside of her job and asks her if she still feels strongly as she did about him when she wrote that paper. And she nods and says yes. And they have like this sweet little moment together. And they pretty much ride off into the sunset. And
Yeah,
ends the movie, just one of the guys.
happily ever
This was a really
after.
fun watch for me. I like to revisit it from
It
time to
is.
time.
But that scene
I
where
hope
she
you
just
guys enjoyed
rips
this
her
review.
top open so the
And
guy
we'll
can see
see
that
this one
she
for
is a woman. She's
sure.
got a
Please let me know your
nice
thoughts.
rack. It's like,
I'll
damn.
catch you guys tomorrow for day 3. Bye.
That's all I can remember about that movie. Nice rack. Nice nipple placement. Here we go. I know how you feel, Professor.
What up, peeps? Bones back here for day 3 of the Echoes 80's challenge. And we're kicking right into day 3 with Kickboxer. Natsu Cow.
Natsu Cow.
1989's Kickboxer. Directed by Mark DeSalle and David Worth. Written by Mark DeSalle, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Glenn A. Bruce. Starring Jean-Claude Van
Yeah,
Damme,
it's
Dennis
Jean-Claude
Alexio,
Van
and Dennis
Bone.
Chan. Jean-Claude Van Damme as Kurt Sloan, and Dennis Alexio as Eric Sloan, and Dennis Chan as Zian, the Mr. Miyagi of this movie. Also, Michael Kesey as Tong Po. This movie tells the story of the Sloan brothers. Basically, it starts off about Eric Sloan, who's a badass American boxer who is the U.S. champ or whatever, world champ of boxing. And he's very arrogant. He thinks he is the shit, the top dog of the sport. And after defending his championship, someone in the press says, if you want to prove you are the best, you should go to Thailand and fight their champion. And he's like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm the best. I'll take them all on.
Best
Look, it's a
of the
fuck, Kurt."
best.
So
Nothing's
they do
ever
that.
gonna
They go to
let you
Thailand.
down.
He
You're
gets
the
in the ring
best
with Tom
of the best.
Cole,
A wrong
and he
movie.
does like an illegal move, hits him in the back and paralyzes him, and they just throw him in the back alley. So Kurt's freaking out. He's trying to figure out how to get help, and this guy named Winston Taylor shows up out of nowhere. "Put him in my van. I'll take him to the hospital. You don't know where these people will take you." He takes him to the hospital. The doctor comes out and says, "I'm sorry, he's paralyzed. He'll never walk again. And he needs to stay here for a long period of time before you can move him." So then Kurt gets all emotional and screaming and crying. He says, "I want Tom Cole." And Taylor says, "You're
He's
crazy.
out for
Your brother
revenge.
couldn't even fight him. You're not ready." And then he says, "I do know someone that might be crazy enough to train you in Muay Thai." And he
Muay
takes
Thai.
you, he says, but he's crazy as hell. And he's talking about Zealand, who lives far out in the woods, secluded, doesn't talk to anybody, and has traps all over his land. And he takes him there. They're trying to get him to train him. And he says, "Don't know who you are, what you want." Zealand cracks me up. He eventually decides to train him. Long, extensive training, lots of training montages and stuff. Along the way, he falls in love with Zealand's niece, Miley. And as they've set up the fight, Tong Po and Freddie Lee, who owns Tong Po, or is his manager or whatever you call it, are all a bunch of pussies. So along the way before the fight, they
Yes, he's
show
a
up at
lethal
Zian's house while
weapon.
no
Hey,
one's
Ben.
there, ransack the property, kidnap Miley and
Well, they're
Eric.
pretty
And he
much
says, "You want your brother
some
alive?
random
You
martial
give the
arts
people a
tournament
show. You make it so
that
Tom
Jean-Claude
Cole
Van
lasts
Damme
all the
needs to
rounds."
step in to kick
Meanwhile,
some
they
butt.
also said that they're going to fight old style with ropes around their
I
fists.
think that's
dipped
blood
in
sport.
glass. And for a good portion of the fight, he's
Blood
Van Damme's
sport.
taking it easy, to give the people a show. And when he
Well, they all pretty much the
rallies,
same.
like
Like I
to kick
said,
his ass 'cause he's got
secret
his
martial
family.
arts
So
tournament
while they're fighting,
that
Taylor
only
and
Jean-Claude
Zian
Van
go
Damme
save
could win.
Miley and
Save the
Eric. They come
day.
through the crowd, and
Yeah.
Eric yells, "Natsu Cow," means white warrior, and to let
Natsu
him know that
Cow.
he's free. And that's when
Natsu.
Van Damme's
Sounds like it's
character,
saying,
Kurt, lets
"Not
loose
your
and
cow,
starts kicking his
not
ass.
Sue's
And,
cow. That cool cow doesn't
has
belong
the
to
big
Sue.
triumphant
Not
win.
Sue's
And
cow."
cue the awesome soundtrack. The movie goes off. Like I said in the other review, my favorite Van Damme is tied with this one in Bloodsport. It's kind of hard to pick one. I think this one has a slight edge because I do remember going to see it when I was 8 years old in the theater. But yeah, this is a awesome movie. Highly recommended.
Jean-Claude Van
If you haven't
Bone.
seen it. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Peace.
They can see the Mia Hobbs is next. Oh,
We are back
Hobbs.
for day 3 of Echoes. Echo Cero's 80s.
After
week.
the stream,
Thank you for
Chabot.
everybody that's
I'm in
participated.
the middle of the stream.
Today we are going to be discussing a 1989 film. This film
I'll
was
be checking
directed by
out the
Ron
other
Howard.
day 4 and
It's
seeing if
2
any
hours
day
and
5s
4
come out.
minutes. It gets a 7.4 on IMDb. And this movie had a budget of $20 million,
$20 million.
but made $120
There we go,
million
brother Max.
freaking dollars.
I believe
That's
in
right.
Joe
This movie
Henry.
Grossed
I
$100
believe in Joe
million.
Henry.
Unreal.
God, I would love to see
Starring
Joe Henry's
Steve
entrance
Martin.
live. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Diane Weiss, Jason Robards, Mary Steenburgen from Step Brothers and other various films,
Yes, Fettius
Rick
Fowls.
Moranis, Keanu Reeves, and Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin
Phoenix, however you choose to pronounce his name. And this blockbuster of a movie called Parenthood. So you follow.
Well,
the
Professor,
Buckmans.
I'm not a fan of him either
Just
because
somewhat
really,
huge family.
I mean, I've seen his stuff,
Primarily
but
focusing on the family.
he
Gil
never
and
really
Karen Buckman,
kind of appealed to
played
me.
by Steve
And
Martin.
Chabot, Ricky Starks might be in the WWE,
And
but I don't think he's going to use that name anymore
Mary Steenburgen.
because he didn't call himself Ricky
And
Starks.
basically, there's
The
going through
announcers
trials
didn't
and
call him
tribulations
Ricky
of
Starks.
life.
If you look at the titles of the
Now,
videos
there
on the
are
WWE YouTube channel, he's not listed as
two
Ricky
brothers
Starks.
and
Only
two
the fans
sisters,
called him Ricky
with
Starks.
the dad being
So I think he's
Jason
getting a new
Robards,
name.
who is the grandpa.
At least
And
that's how
all
I'm
four
kind of looking at
members
it.
of his family,
I'm
all
interested in
four
what name
kids,
they give him.
have their own kids now.
He
that
could
are
be
all grown
Ricky
up.
Macabro.
Some are grown up as far as their kids, so second generation. kids. Of those kids are younger, some are grown up. But each family is going through their own trials and tribulations of life.
Yeah,
Trying to figure out how to deal
what he
with their
did.
kids and all the problems
Three
that are happening in the
Amigos.
world.
He did a
And it seems
military
like every
one.
single family is struggling with some type of aspect. For example, I'm not going to tell you who's what, but one family member is dealing with an adult daughter.
Could be.
Who is rebellious, and she's trying to.
But I noticed that when they wouldn't call him Ricky Starks.
Go on the road.
Roxanne
Meanwhile,
Stark.
her
Oh,
son
yeah, that's right. He was in Roxanne.
Very quiet. He doesn't really talk to people.
You know what? Didn't he do one with Michael Caine?
With him.
What about the con artist?
Then you have this one daughter who, her husband wants her kid to be perfect.
Man.
Puts her in all these events and everything, and that kid is actually played by, I believe it was Elon Swan. She was the girl in Problem Child 2.
Yeah, that one.
I believe she was also in Look Who's Talking To, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, so each family is going through their own set of problems.
That's true, Professor.
Have, like, this dinner and this
the
family
jerk.
Gathering.
Like I said, he did one where he played like a military guy or whatever too.
I don't really remember it being any type of a holiday type feel.
He's been around.
All of a sudden, the families get together.
Going back to what the early years of Saturday Night Live.
And some family members compare to each other. They don't get along, and other family members just keep going over their problems and the issues that they're having raising their kids. And basically, that's the story. That's what it's about. It's a comedy drama.
Yeah, not much of a fan of his.
Getting through life.
I don't hate the guy. I just never really was kind of into him.
Steve Martin's character, his kids. One of them.
Billy Crystal is another one I never really got into.
Rambunctious, the other one.
Even though I did see some of his stuff.
Having severe depression in school, so he's trying to figure out how to manage that and his situation. Meanwhile, he finds it later on he's got another kid on the way. And then there's just so much involved in this movie. You really have to take the time to sit down to enjoy it. It is a long movie, but it's really, really a great movie. The payoff is good. Not traditionally what I would watch, especially with the length, but I could not get past this cast. I mean, you guys.
Hobbs apparently has a movie limit.
Green, Diane Weiss.
He likes movies being a certain time.
It's from the Ghostbusters. I mean, you just have so many great fucking cast.
Yeah, John Candy.
This family drama,
love John Candy
type film. A very young Keanu Reeves.
Uncle Buck. Cameo in Home Alone.
Leaf Phoenix, as his name was in the credit in the film, Leaf Phoenix, but it's really Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin.
An interesting story. Let me know if you guys have seen this one. I
think they did a remake of it.
Talk about this movie.
That had didn't they do a remake that had what's his name, Tom Wellington from Smallville in it? I think I saw that.
Everybody to sit down if you have a little bit of extra time on your hands, to sit down and thoroughly just process this entire movie. It's very good payoff. Catch up with y'all later. Peace.
Hello.
We got the Jin.
Yes, my head is still giving me pain. Ooh la, the pain patch.
The pain patch.
Smells like wintergreen. Wintergreen.
Ooh, it's a pain patch that smells good.
And
I do like wintergreen.
What doesn't smell good above your nose, and I'm going crazy because I can't do my normal Spock. I
can't do the Spock-a-nita. Oh, I can't either. Then again, I got a bandana on.
That hurts, man. So this is to help remind me not to touch it and not to do the eyebrow lift.
You gotta do some any day 5 videos.
Okay.
after
Day
this
3,
stream, I'm going to have to react to.
because it's 12 a.m. somewhere.
And we do have
It's
a
Wednesday
extended
somewhere.
playlist that has all of them. This is just an updated one I made for the stream.
No, it's Tuesday somewhere.
Yes, it's Tuesday somewhere.
I am totally off my program this
Ooh.
week.
And Professor, he came back as him in
And
Godzilla
I-
85, the American cut.
Yes.
They added him to the American cut. I don't have the American cut.
Brought
I
it
have the
back to
regular one
so-called
that doesn't have the
theater.
uh,
It's now turned
um,
into a hoity-toity
Harry Mason guy,
place where they have ballets and
whose
all
name
that
I forgot.
for an expensive price. Well, kids used to go there for Saturday.
And I do, Professor, I have the Cryoton
them
version of
performance
Godzilla.
packs, yes.
And
This
it's
is
Gojira is the main movie on. Yeah, Raymond Boer. Gojira is the main movie on it.
Look at the mystic.
With
Oh,
the American
geez.
cut Godzilla is the
Yes,
bonus.
Made for the 25th anniversary. And I loved this.
Dark Crystal's a good movie.
When I saw this at the thrift store, we fell in
He is.
love.
He's not Raymond Boer. He's Perry
special-
Mason.
All the special effects.
Dark Crystal's a cool movie.
I'm not allowed
The
to
Netflix did a show, but I never watched the Netflix show. Was it Netflix that did the Dark
watch
Crystal
it,
prequel? Or was it Amazon? I want to say
because
Netflix.
I really love the commentary by
I know I only need one of these, but I like
Brian
walking around.
Proud in this about
I think my Godzilla Cryoton
how
is my
he
first
got
Cryoton collection that I had. It's my
Skeksis,
because I have the
the
Night Living Dead
original
one, and I think I have one other, but it doesn't got a special case like
lizard
the Night, or
guy.
definitely not like the Godzilla one.
Yes, and
Which I do show off. If you look at my Kaijiro collection, I do show my Godzilla
and
that I have,
I-
Cryoton that I have.
soaked the
I do
whole
show it
thing
off.
up. Matter of fact, one of my special things in this movie was Fizzgig. Yes, Fizzgig.
I'm trying to remember that
Little
character.
puppy dog looking thing.
Oh, the little. You can tell it's been a long time since I've seen
Yes.
since I've watched Dark Crystal, even though I have a special edition of it.
Oh, is it Jen? Is his
Now, see,
name?
the reason why, because this is for
I
here,
thought it was always
but
Jen.
if I put it here, then I can do the metal horns. Metal horns! Look at that, metal horns!
It's definitely a good
Metal horn!
versatile movie. Yes.
Metal horn! I only need one for this finger.
Skeksis.
I'm supposed to have a third one.
Hmm?
Because I'm supposed to have one that's thumb size.
And this movie made me ask for my first pet, so I could name it Fizzgig. Yes. Jim Henson and
Yeah.
Frank Oz did a lovely job making this movie. Making it my favorite Jim Henson movie. Jim Henson or Frank Oz movie. Frank Oz movie or Jim Henson movie. Yes. So my mom took me the next day
Let's see.
and went and bought me
I guess
the
I'm gonna
guinea
see.
pig. And she said, "Look at all these beautiful black and brown colored ones. Aren't they beautiful?" And I said, "No, I want
No!
this brown one in the corner because it looks like
This is just an old injury.
no."
Because the
So
story
Dixie,
goes is that
guinea pig,
years and years ago at a family reunion,
wash
we went to
out
move. There's
the
this
cage,
big metal bench that's got the attached. I mean, big metal table that's got the attached metal benches.
and
Thing weighs about a
how
ton.
do you-
And
how
me
do
and some of
you
my
know it's
cousins went to
good?
go move it, and
She
my
said,
finger did one of
"We'll
these,
talk
trigger
about
finger.
that later."
I had to get it out, but ever since then, it bothers me. And when it gets stiff and
Which
starts to
maybe
hurt,
talk to me about
I
that
can put that
later.
on.
Hmm.
This is a precautionary
My
measure.
first
Because walking around like that kind of looks kind of odd.
Animal. Animal. Yes. But his gig was the sweetest thing in the world, as he was in the movie.
Yeah, but Professor, just remember, Professor,
I'm so
we all the
sorry,
same age. I'm just what,
Sandra.
2-3 weeks older than you.
It's hard to pick.
We're
You
coming
get the
close to
message.
what birthday is it? Is it the big 50 that's coming up on us in a few
True,
years?
they're evil and mean.
I turned 50, then you turned 50.
And the mystics were so good. And
Fuck furries, those creepy ass little shits.
they had such beautiful singing amongst them, as well as playing the harp. And they had 4 arms.
Yes, forearms.
Yeah. So I fight with that every time I watch this movie.
Good movie.
Yes.
I picked it up. It was one of the things I picked up right after Bowie. No. I picked up Labyrinth, and then I picked this up.
This movie on my one.
Labyrinth, I got a special edition Labyrinth, like a storybook type one.
For me.
And then I came
I
across
love it.
Dark Crystal had the
love
same
it.
one, so I picked it up.
Loved it. Can't look good for too long. No.
You mean you have a
They must
$1.25
use-
budget? Because
yes.
the Dollar Tree's not $1 no more. It's
It's
$1.25 to $5 foot long. Okay, that's not a foot.
Heck,
Foot long.
the only thing that's majorly traumatizing about it is what this Skeksis do.
There we go, Casey.
And maybe a little.
I think only 1 year did a Godzilla movie get covered. I'm not sure. I think it one of the either the first or second year someone did talk about a Godzilla film. Surprised nobody's dug up a Godzilla movie yet.
Yes.
So everyone else who hasn't finished doing the 80s weeks yet, you know, there's 2 Godzilla movies in the 80s that came out. Just saying, you can be nice.
One of those movies
Do it and dedicate it to
where
Casey.
An actual adult had to come with you to the movies. And my 18-year-old uncle came with us. Tried to scare the crap out of us every time the Dark Crystal came up.
Ooh, this movie is actually a pretty cool movie, though.
I love it. Especially this edition. Yes, and it has a second disc with many documentaries.
Yeah, and if they do it, Casey, because that's what's Godzilla 85 / Godzilla Return and Violente. Aren't they the 81s? The ones that are done in the 80s? Those are the 2? They should do it and dedicate it to you.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite YouTuber Anthony Chabot. Anthony Chabot, the #1 YouTuber in world's time for history, news, and notes before we begin 80s week. On this day, 22 years ago, Mr. Perfect passed away. Kurt Hennig. Now, Kurt Hennig was an awesome wrestler. He was gifted. He was with that perfect plex and everything. He was awesome. Happy birthday to Emma Roberts and Chloe Grace Moretz. No, Emma Roberts is the niece of Julia Roberts.
Someone said
Chloe
they did a
Grace
remake of
Moretz
it.
is a good actress. She played in Kick-Ass, The Equalizer. I'm going to talk about Kick-Ass in my memoirs. So, yeah. On this day, 30 years ago, Billy Madison came out. Now, Billy Madison was a good movie. And on this day, 34 years ago, Never Ending Story 2 came out.
No comment.
Never Ending Story 2 was a good movie. Now it's time for, we'll continue with day 3 of 80s week. And one of my personal favorites that I watched, Vigilante. Now, Vigilante was a good movie. But before I can get to this review, I'd like to give a shout out to Echo Zil.
Hell yeah, Professor. Oh, sorry. Let me do it right.
Now, Vigilante was a good movie.
Hell yeah, Professor.
Fred the Hammer Williamson, the late great Robert Forster, Joe Spinelli. It was good. They form a round gang of ragtag guys to form a criminal thing. It was good. I recently bought it at the thrift store.
It's from 1983. On a scale of 199, I give this one 100. Now please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll do day 4. We know what we're gonna do yet. Now please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share Pop Colby, the number one Anthony Chabot, the number one YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, my Facebook, my Daily Motion, my Blue Sky.
He's got a lot of social media, doesn't he?
Come on, fun. So far, I have 4. I have 33 subs. The road to 100 subs is needed. One with the community tab to do podcast. Podbean, that'll be up this week. And let me know what you think about Vigilante, the 80s week, 33 in the comments. So yeah, Anthony, out.
Hello.
There we go, Lay
So
with the
today we're
coolest
on
glasses
day 3
ever.
of 80s week, and I've decided to do
These
Labyrinth
glasses should have got
1986 for you
1,000
guys.
or maybe 2,000 subs.
So this is definitely
Just because of those
a
glasses
comfort watch
alone.
for
She needs
me.
to wear them for all her
I
videos
find
and live
myself watching
streams.
this quite often throughout the year. I even
Review
did a
Hot
whole
Eyes
live
and put
stream
those
last
glasses
month
on.
where I sang throughout the entire movie. So just in case you guys missed that, it's available for you guys to watch right after you watch this review.
Yes, yes, go.
Goody. So
But
yeah,
only if she
like I
is
said,
wearing.
I watch
Should
this
only
film
watch
quite
her videos and
often.
live
I also
streams
listen to the
if she wears
soundtrack
those
even
glasses.
more.
Those
Probably
glasses will
listen
bring her
to
the
it
fame.
more throughout the week than I probably should. Almost every day, if I'm being honest. I don't know if that's a weird thing to admit, but I kind of have the thing where I
Casey.
do weird shit a lot, and
She does
so
weird
it
shit
would
a
be very
lot.
on brand for me. So yeah, I listen to the soundtrack a lot. Anyways, so this movie stars David Bowie as Jareth the Goblin King, and then we have Jennifer Connelly who plays
Yeah, we got Dark
Sarah,
Chris and now we got
who's this
Leviathan.
teenage girl, and she gets very frustrated and
Ooh,
annoyed because she
Casey.
has to constantly watch over her baby brother
Lay,
Toby.
you need to do
And
all
she
your
just
videos and
wishes
live
that
stream with
Toby
these
would be taken
glasses.
away by all the goblins from her storybooks that she likes to read.
These
Well,
glasses are
sure
the
as shit,
bomb.
the goblins do come to life, and they do end up
They
taking
rock,
poor Toby away.
Lay.
And then she comes across Jareth, who offers her anything that she would hope and desire in exchange for Toby. But Sarah has that instant regret. She's like, "No, I gotta go save Toby. Whatever." If Jareth came up
Also,
to
she
me
was
and offered me anything, including
just
for
those
him
glasses,
to
only
be
those
my
glasses.
slave, because he does offer that to Sarah, I would say yes in a
You
heartbeat.
could probably get
So
some
Sarah's an
slaves if you
idiot,
just
to
wear
be
those
honest.
glasses.
But anyways, so Jareth offers her to. She basically tells her, "Well, then you need to solve my labyrinth, and you have
You know,
a
Lay, there
certain
you
amount
go.
of
You can
time.
do a
If you don't
sunglasses
solve it, Toby
review
will be turned
videos.
into a goblin forever." So
Review
she
only
goes
pink
through
heart-shaped
the
glasses.
labyrinth, and she traverses through the labyrinth, but there's a lot of hiccups.
That's
There's
a
a lot
good
of
question,
bumps. There's a lot of
Professor.
traps in
Probably
place,
because you got little
and
gremlins,
that kind
Professor.
of
You can't
stifles
get
her,
high.
sets her back a bit. But then she befriends a few people like Hoggle, Ludo, Sir Didymus, and Ambrosius, and they all help her along to complete the labyrinth and defeat Jareth and his goblins. And baby Toby is
Looks
finally
like I
returned home
have
safely to his crib, as well as Sarah. She's
2
returned home as
videos
well.
to review.
And she ends
So
up
Bo did
reuniting
one,
with
and I
all
just
her
noticed
friends that
got
she
a
made in the
notification that
labyrinth, and they
Bones
have
did
this
one.
little mini party
So I
going
have
on,
after the
which
stream,
is
I
all
have 2
cool and
videos
sweet and
to
fun and whatnot.
review.
So yeah, like I said, this is definitely one of my top
Probably
comfort
we still
movies.
gotta wait for Hobbs.
It's
I
a
know
fun
Nanette said she was
watch.
gonna do day 3 and
Did you
4.
guys like the labyrinth? Are you a fan? Are you guys David Bowie fans? Let your girl know. So thank you so much for watching this review
Lay
of
and her
Labyrinth. I'll
glasses.
catch you guys on day 4. Bye.
Yeah, after the stream, I gotta watch it, Bones. Oh, 1 minute. I gotta rip one. Good for it.
What up, peeps? Bones back at you, and it is day 4 of Echo's 80s Challenge. And we're here with one of the best of the best.
He's got the best of the
Talk
best.
about it.
Nothing's.
1989's Best of the Best. Directed by Robert
There you go,
Bradler,
Professor.
written by Philip Reed, Paul Levine, and
I
Matt
can't remember
Strong.
what my day 5
Starring Eric
is.
Roberts
I
as
know what my
Alex
day
Grady,
6 and my day
James Earl
7
Jones
is.
as
I just can't remember what my day 5
Sally
is.
Kirkland as Catherine Wade,
Woo.
Philip Reed
1
as
minute.
Tommy Lee, Chris
Oh,
Pitt as
woo.
Travis Berkeley,
Woo, man, that was a
John
stinky
Dodd
one.
as Virgil Keller, David
Woo.
Agresko as Sonny Grasso,
Oh,
and
Sugar's on the
Simon Lee as
bed right now,
Dave
probably
Hahn.
going,
They
God.
came from the United States as going to compete against
Lay,
Korea in a
watch it,
Taekwondo
Lay.
tournament. The
Wear
team
your
consists
new
of fighters
heart-shaped
from all over the
glasses and
country,
watch
they overcome their
it.
rivalry and work together to win.
Be like, I
The
got the
cast in this
shades. I
movie
can
is
watch it.
stacked, but the main stars are Tommy Lee and Alex Grady. They meet at the camp for the United States karate team.
Well, Professor, just watch the new porn edition of
While they're
Dune.
forming a American team to go up against Korea in a tournament for bragging rights and medals or something, but Tommy Lee has another agenda. He wants to get
Eric
a hold
Roberts.
of Daehan, who killed his older brother.
I
when
kind
he
of
was
got
a
the feeling
child.
that
They show a
Bones likes
flashback
these
scene,
martial
an
arts
original
type
flashback
movies.
scene where he's got an ice cream cone and he
Just
sees
call it a
his brother
guess.
get killed by Daehan, and he just drops his ice cream cone. So his agenda is to get revenge and maybe kill Daehan like Daehan killed his brother.
And made him
Eric
drop his
Roberts,
ice cream.
character Alex Grady, just has something to prove because he's getting older and he wants to prove he still has it and can defeat the other team and have something to make his son proud of him for. This is one of those movies that a great story, great character. It's exciting. Like I said, the cast is stacked. There's a
5 hours of
scenes in it
movies.
where
Damn.
Tommy just randomly
5
takes
hours
off
of martial
and
arts
leaves
reviews
on
from
his
Mr. Bones.
motorcycle when he knows he's coming
Whoa.
back, and it's because he's contemplating if he should go because he says he's scared to face Daehan, and it's a mix of being scared of him because he's dangerous and scared that he doesn't know what he'll do, like if he'll kill him or not. Then you got a scene where Alex's little boy, Walter, gets hit by a car, and James Earl Jones' character forbids him to go home and check on him, but he goes anyway because it's his son, and then he tells him he can't come back. Same thing for Tommy for leaving the camp, but he eventually lets them both come back, and he even brings
Eric
Walter
Roberts in
to
a.
watch his dad fight in the tournament. So they do have a big
Yes,
strenuous
this
battle
is what he's doing for
between
5
the
hours,
US
just
and
showing
Korea
that.
team. And of course, you know the U.S. team eventually wins, but that's all I'm going to say here instead of trying to give you a scene for scene, play by play. Love this movie. I love the whole series. The first one is a classic.
Nada.
The second one's really good. Eric Roberts and Simon Reed both come back, and I also enjoy
Yeah,
3
just
and 4, which star
don't.
Tommy Lee.
Honey
Highly recommend
child.
the series. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Hey, hey, hey. It's the Pacific Northwest Geek here. Echo. It's meditation. Sure, baby. Here for day 4. Woo! Yeah, baby. Symbol of excellence. Well, not this time, but anyways, I'm here for day 4 of 80's Week 2025. And the movie I'll be looking at, yeah, this is going to be perhaps a bit more of a bashing. Don't tell Echo Morte I reviewed this movie. I'll be looking at 1987. And trashed it. He might get upset. Masters of the Universe. Inspired by the toy line and the animated series, Masters of the Universe, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. It's a terrible movie. The movie stars. I grew up on the old cartoon. I love the old cartoon. This movie did not do it justice. He-Man, Meg Foster with those lovely eyes. Oh, I always love those. I always liked her eyes, those pale eyes. Cody Cox has a human girl. Now, the whole story goes that basically Skeletor has captured Castle Grayskull, and the sorceress with the use of this key. And somehow the key. Who in one of the new cartoons is the mother of Tala. Earthworld, all realm. I think it was what her and Man at Arms or whatever were knocking boots. They had died in the plane crash, and she's kind of got like a survivor's guilt or whatever. And she's got this male friend who's like who does music and stuff. Who they come across the key, thinking it's like it's a musical instrument. Soon, He-Man, Man at Arms, and Tala follow suit, come to this world to find the key. At the same time, they wanted to do a sequel. Skeletor sends his people to retrieve the key, And well,
Where
you got Skeletor.
he'd basically be like
vehicles
where
downtown.
Skeletor would take over some businessman and
flying around these little hover things, pew, 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 fighting, sword fighting,
yeah, my bad sound effects.
all over this key before eventually going back there.
We're supposed to
and
be getting a
having a
new
showdown with
live action
Skeletor,
one I've been hearing
defeating
about.
Skeletor, saving the day.
Just like the live action Thundercats, all talk.
And the movie was a disappointment.
Lost
Now,
some
back
money.
In the 80s, we had these cartoons that essentially were 30-minute minus, so probably about 25 minutes or so. You got a minus time for commercials, basically. So we'll say 25-minute long advertisement for toys.
That's what they were. Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man.
If you saw it in an episode of the cartoon, one of these cartoons, there was a good chance when you went to your toy aisle.
It's no wonder those toys were big.
And He-Man, though, was a hot property.
Well, you can watch a cartoon, go to your local toy store or local store that sold toys.
He-Man, Voltron. Oh, my jam.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got an animated theatrical Transformers movie. Almost got a G.I. Joe one, and I think this ended up airing on TV.
Yeah.
But we got a live action He-Man.
Almost got a animated Thundercats. Because of how bad some of these other movies did, they never did an animated Thundercats.
And it was a dud. The movie, Dolph Lundgren was 2 years removed from perhaps the role that made him. Igo, whatever, from
Dargo.
4. The guy that kills Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed is a wrestler, but he kills Apollo Creed.
Yeah, I hate the live action Masters of the Universe movie. The cartoon's better.
Pretty good. But it just, the whole thing fell short. It lost canon. That's the other thing. I have a soft spot for a lot of the films that Canon did in the 80s. Whether it's Life Force, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's some Chuck Norris movies, The Mission in Action, Invasion USA, The Hero in Terror. They did Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, which I guess was. But by 87, I think the signs were really there that.
Yeah.
Things were going downhill. Remember this? I believe this is the same year that Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, another
downhill.
But this one just. And the toy line had what? The cartoon had ended 2 years later, so the toy line exactly wasn't probably 2 years later,
Yeah, it ended about 85.
I can't recall.
Oh, the cartoon ended in 85.
Transformers, I believe, still had some life in them. G.I. Joe had life in them. But He-Man essentially was done for. And
they still were doing, toys, I believe, in space. They were still doing toys, but like the cartoon was pretty much dead, so the toy line was pretty much dead too. It was just repeats of old toys.
If you're a big, if you're a fan of Dolph Lundgren, all muscular, oiled up, running around in a loincloth going, I am He-Man. This is it. This is the thing. The movie also ended with we were given a little tease of a sequel where the Skeletor gets thrown to thrown whatever to his death, and we see his head come out of this wall, and he's like, I will be back.
Okay, my bad Skeletor impersonation.
Again, because this movie bombed. And then also, it wasn't I believe this era of canon lasted for a few more years, 2, 3, maybe more than 3 years before it went.
Oh my, Professor!
No more fun time for canon. That's probably why I don't like the canon films of the 90s, because I think they did release some, but it was just this was really a sign that things were going downhill for canon, and I believe
there was 2 cartoons, I believe.
Butting heads.
One connected to the original, and one I think there was something else.
But
I have
I don't think fondly of it.
Skeletor figure from it and an Eva Lynn figure.
I'm a He-Man fan. I grew up on it. I had the toys. I believe I had the Skeletor.
Yeah, the purple Skeletor staff that was hollow on one side.
I think me and a friend, we'd found somebody had thrown out a Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, they abandoned it in a wooded area.
I think eventually he just decided to say that you're an asshole, Echo. I'm not going to share this with you. And I am an asshole.
Fuck Pineapple.
But again, He-Man was
Eating pineapple should be punishable by death.
Why do a movie 2 years after the cartoon had ended, when the toy line was probably not really doing anything? But if you've seen this movie, tell me what you think. If you're a fan of the old He-Man cartoon, tell me what you think too. Again, it was probably for me. Probably went Transformers, GI Joe, Voltron, He-Man, Ghostbusters were probably my cartoons back then.
Ghostbusters was the
or
bomb.
something else.
So was DuckTales. DuckTales was another one.
There. This movie is just. But oh. Tell me what you guys get. Tell me what you guys think about this movie and about He-Man and favorite characters. Well, I gotta go Skeletor. Otherwise, Echo Morte would be upset. Skeletor was, He blast you, He-Man.
Should have put on the mask when I said
I
that.
got to go. I had the heater on. This is hot. I need to get it off. I hope everybody is enjoying 80s week. We're getting towards the finish line here. We're at the halfway point now. But anyway,
Yeah, the cartoon was better. The OG cartoon. That movie is an insult.
I have the power.
Hello, Jennifer Tochi here. Yes.
Anchovy. I tried an anchovy once. Never again.
I am involved in 80s Week. Echo Siernos 80s Week. And this will be Wednesday?
Day 4.
What day is it? Oh,
Thundercats.
Fighters. Okay.
Thundercats is a good one.
This is
Mumra's one of my favorite villains from the. You too, Professor.
80s.
Look forward to see what you pick for day 5.
Non-horror.
5.
Thank goodness.
5.
Ton up.
$5 foot long.
By the way, thank you, Echo, for letting me know Runaway with Tom Selleck and G.W. Barley is on Tubi because I have a VHS that's on its last leg, so I haven't been able to watch that movie for a year. It has been loved so much by me. Okay.
Oh, we got 3 reviews after this.
Today, I'm doing maybe another known movie. Because I watched a John Schneider movie.
Schneider.
It didn't give me what I needed. Just didn't give me my good old boy, John Schneider.
That's a good old boy. Never did no wrong.
Yeah, so I didn't want to review that one. No, I didn't. So I decided to do The Woman in Red. Yes. And today I'm in orange. Pretend I'm wearing this color.
Well, it looks like red to me, not orange.
Over an air conditioner grate in red underwear. And my dress is going and my legs look as good as Kelly LeBrock's in.
There was a song for that, wasn't this too for this? The Lady in Red. Da, 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 da.
Probably still look better than mine. Okay. Pisses me off about this cover is that they made Kelly LeBrock's legs look even smaller than they already were. Damn.
So she's a Kelly LeBrock leg fan.
They made them smaller. And there's Gene Wilder poking over there. We got Gene Wilder, Charles Grodin. He's actually playing a nice guy. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of movies with him being the bad guy for some reason. Yes. Joseph Bologna. I am not going to call him baloney.
Call him
I am not
baloney.
going to call him baloney.
Call him baloney.
Judith Ivy and the great Gilda Radner. Yes. This is the movie where
Gilda Radner.
hated Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner together. Yes.
R.I.P. Gilda.
She was beautiful in it and did everything perfectly, as did Gene Wilder. As did everybody. Please. Yes. Yes. Gene Wilder.
Get my bad leg up.
A remarkably unremarkable man who glimpses the woman of his dreams.
Pickle Ranch. Did you pick it up?
Yes.
Put your
As
pickle
she
ranch on your pickles.
Marilyn Monroe style over an air vent in the street. And he watches
Put it on your
her
chicken.
full red skirt flutter
Mix it with your tuna salad.
over her shapely figure. Teddy finds himself lost in her dreamlike vision of loveliness, and he emerges hopelessly obsessed with her. It's a good thing.
Nuggies. Gonna put on nuggies and pizza. Pizza.
Yes.
You said it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about ranch pickle.
Red through hilarious obstacle course of mishaps and misunderstandings.
No problem. Oh, I forgot.
Yes.
No problem.
Rodin is the best friend who helps track down the objects.
Got 80's week.
You're my obsession. Cootie. And this soundtrack is great.
This is day 4. Well, day 5 for some people.
And I'm
This
like
is.
I can be
See, this year's 80's week.
I can be.
It's being awesome.
I can be banging my head 1 minute and then listening to Dionne Warwick.
That's a splitter to help my finger, which bothers me sometimes.
Listening to her love songs, and then
this is just a second splinter I don't need, but it allows me to do the metal devil horns.
One thing that's always.
And when I stick it up your nose, it's gonna hurt more. It's gonna rip some skin.
Woman in Red is an uproarious romantic farce.
I have a slight history of trigger finger with this finger.
And it says, the Gilda Radner plays Teddy's vengeful wife.
Ooh.
Untrue.
What year did Gilda die? She died in the 80s or the 90s.
Where Kelly LeBrock
Finger. For the people in the UK.
Yes, his wife was played by another woman. Yes. And I love how that song at the end, Stevie Wonder,
what song?
You go into Gene Wilder actually jumping into a trampoline and
what in the heck? I think the videos, we got a video coming up from
Teddy on a ledge.
From Hobbs, Professor,
Yes.
And one more from Lay.
Did not know ledges were this big. I knew. makes me want to get out there, break into somebody's, uh, and get out on a ledge. Yes.
Oh.
And
Unfortunately, he isn't wearing those
my
cool
mad,
glasses again.
the mad self-improvement yearbook I started today. Put yourself on a pedestal.
And why does backwards this mad
I
look like it says clam?
read mad books
Chowder!
in the 1980s. This one was made in 1985. And I'm going to start January 1st today. Yes. What does it say? January 1st. Practice accepting your responsibilities today. Okay. There's obviously a man with a hangover.
Ooh, I can get to the Dollar Tree? Ooh.
If you have made a commitment to others to play in this afternoon's Rose Bowl game, don't curl
Afternoon
up
delight.
and start reading this book.
Have you had your afternoon
Get
delight?
off your duff and go to Pasadena.
Yes, go to Pasadena. Lay,
Yes.
get off your duff and go to Pasadena.
Yes.
You can take
What's
Casey
that?
with you to Pasadena.
Wednesday. Be nicer to your mad books, Jim. Yes. So that's what I'm going to do. Start getting off my duff and get things
Road
done.
trip. Lay and Casey to Pasadena.
What can I do with my child? I promised to review something
Pass on these
for
nuts.
7 days. And it's my 4th day now. So, yes. I give this a 5.
Let's see if any
Um,
new videos have been dropped.
87 minutes long. PG-13. Oh, and I just saw Hard Eyes, by the way.
She needs those glasses now.
Loved all the gook and all the gore and
Ugh.
the kind of all the goings on in the movie. But I kind of had the ending guessed real fast. Like at the 4th, the movie was 4th way over, and I thought, oh, and I said it. Oh, and sure enough, that's how it ended. Sure enough, that was a killer. Am I adding an S to that? I'm not telling you. Farewell. Bye.
Oh, welcome back to day 4 of Echo's 80s week.
Hobbs at his pizza.
Echo 0, that's right, everybody. Echo 0, 0, 0, 0 is doing 80s week again this year. Today we are in day 4. We're doing the 1988 film.
Day 4.
It's a 6.3 on IMDb. 1 hour and 44 minutes long. We're talking about Mystic Pizza. That's right. This is a first-time watch for me. All these films I review will be first-time watches. This is a 1988 film. You follow these 3 girls. 2 of them are sisters. One of them is just another coworker, but a best friend.
My mom has a copy of this.
They're working at a...
I know it was her or my dad, or both
pizza
of them were
joint in
big Julia
what's
Roberts
actually real
fans.
life in Connecticut.
So they have she has a
Mystic
whole bunch of
Pizza.
Julia Roberts movies. And this is one of them.
These 3 girls are going through all the changes.
Steel
in life.
Magnolias,
They're
Pretty Woman,
trying to date. One of them
the
almost
Ocean's
got
11,
married, and the other
Ocean's
one is
28,
trying to
Ocean's
find the right man.
25, all of
They're
that
also
stuff.
trying to get along and also trying to accept the fact that things aren't always
And this
going to be
movie was
easy.
written by the woman
So
who
in this film,
directed
you have the one girl who's
the original
fallen in
Slumber
love with
Party
an architect who
Massacre.
she's babysitting for,
To
and
go from
she
Slumber Party Massacre to this,
has to find a way to either
ooh,
get over or get it, get
there's
with
a
him.
definitely
And
an
you'll find out that
interesting
particular
thing.
story when you watch the movie.
Didn't see what she did between
There's
them.
another girl whose character is played by Julia Roberts, who is in love with a rich guy's family and his money. She's also very into him.
And
They
his
realize
money.
that his family's kind of stuck up. They're kind of rich, kind of nouveau riche, if you will. And I don't know that they intentionally mean to be that way in the film, but you know, you have a certain way that you live, you become a certain way. At least that's the way I think it is.
So true.
And then you have another girl who, she's afraid of commitment. Literally gets to the altar and decides, I don't want to be married. But, you know, maybe she does, and it's just not the right time. You'll just have to watch the film to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, you guys
So let me
do
give you
that.
my thoughts on Mystic Pizza. I thought it was pretty cool, the history of the movie. It had a budget of about $6 million. And it doubled its money, made about $13 million. But it's interesting to see the camaraderie between the girls, how they would stick up for each other, also how they would
What
get
is
into
day
it with each
5?
other. I liked all the
Oh,
characters.
okay, that's
I
what
liked
day
Vincent
5 is.
D'Onofrio in this film.
Had to look ahead and see what my day 5
He was
was.
really, really a solid character. He's a guy that really wasn't into just having sex. He really wanted a commitment.
Yeah, he wanted more than a booty call.
And
Okay,
all the
commitment.
characters in this movie were good.
Booty
This
call
was
and a
actually
commitment. Okay.
a small role for Matt Damon in this film. I believe this might have been his feature film debut as well, if I'm not mistaken. I won't tell you how he's in the film, but you'll just have to watch it and see.
Been acting
Overall,
that
this one for
long?
me
I
was a bit
didn't think he
slow. I
started
wanted
until the
just a little more
90s.
out of it. We're going to give this one a 3 out of 5 on the Boglin scale. Let me know if
And
you
no Ben Affleck.
have
Ooh.
seen Mystic Pizza, and I'll catch up with you later. Peace.
Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, here to participate in Day 4 of Echo Zero. Cha, cha, cha. Babies, 80's Week 2025. Yes, indeed. The ever-awesome Echo Zero has tasked people in the community to review a movie that is non-horror related, or any content. That's my take for this year. Any content that's from the 80s, that's non-horror, and that it's something that we haven't talked about in previous years.
That's
And
correct.
we've talked about a few doozies, but I'm going to throw you on a curveball with a movie that came out in the 80s, but might not be well known for a lot of people, unless you're like me and you like watching a lot of random weird shit. Now, this particular movie, I didn't know existed, I must admit. I didn't see it in the 80s, you see. But it's a movie that, when I found out about it, I was like, holy shit, Hollywood. Do you even have an ounce of originality in your bitter, corrupt bones anymore? For you see, I am a huge fan of Nicolas Cage, and I've
Oh,
seen a lot of his
I
movies.
got 3 because Hobbs has his day
Discovering
5
new
up.
movies as I continue to grow old and withered and pathetic. But one of his movies is City of Angels. Wait, was it City of Angels? I think it was City of... I'm turning old and feeble. Have I mentioned that? But yes, I think it was City of Angels. Where he
I think he's
plays
right,
this
too. I had to
angel
look this
that's
movie
like a
up.
guardian angel, and he's looking over Meg Ryan and Googling her and doing weird shit, like probably looking at her in the shower as she's
Yes,
washing
that's what
herself
angels
up
do
and
to
then
you
as
guys.
she's eating.
They
It's,
watch you
really
while
quite-
you're in the
quite
shower.
stunning. And the angel meets a fallen angel, you could say. Someone that renounced the glory of God and wanted to live among the stinky, evil, corrupt humans.
Yes,
that he
into
looked
the
after.
wood chipper. Good night,
And Nicolas
Casey.
Cage like, what the fuck? Why would
Have
you
fun
do
with
that,
the wood
dude? Why
chipper.
would you denounce the grace and glory of the Lord for humans? And he's like, humans are awesome, man. Yeah, sure. There's a bunch of shitty people, but some of them are really cool, and they have good food, and they have stuff like smoking and booze and marijuana.
It's great. Nicolas Cage decides to like, well, you know what? I really want to bang this chick. I'm gonna turn human, and he does. And we discover that in this universe, the universe of City of Angels, God has a sick sense of humor. Because like, ha ha ha, you denounced me for that chick. Well, I'm gonna put her in a car accident, and then she dies. And and Nicolas Cage is left as a human without his hot chick to bang anymore. But he discovers the pleasures
No
of
begging
living.
for
The
her.
end. And that was not a review for City of Angels, because that did not come out in the 80s. But you know what I found out? That City of Angels is a remake of a different movie, Wings of Desire. Wings of Desire, right there. That's this really sticker I haven't been able to get out. Yes, indeed. This is a European film that is that. It's about this angel that is watching over people, and he's like, these humans are very peculiar, and I want to be like Ariel, and saying like, I want to be a part of their world. So he turns human and falls in love. This inspired that Nicolas Cage movie. I thought that movie, when I saw City of Angels, was pretty original, but
I
turns
didn't know
out
City of Angels was a remake.
No, it was just a remake of this
But
movie.
yeah, Hollywood
came
does
out
like
in
remaking foreign
1980.
movies, don't they?
Oh, Hollywood, you piece
Still
of
waiting
shit.
on that
Came
last
out in
Train to New York one, which is a
1987.
remake of Train to
So when I
Busan.
found out, I made it a point to track down and watch this movie, and track it down I did. And here it is, Wings of Desire. Imagine my disappointment when I saw that movie, because I liked City of Angels. Because especially of the twist, like, you fell from grace and then you wanted to
You
bang
gotta
and
give
take
it to
down,
Professor. He's really good at his videos.
Made me chuckle for a bit there.
He's such an
Didn't
awesome
feel bad
guy.
for Nick Cage, I actually laughed.
You guys all connect
Gave
with
me some
him?
very bizarre looks from
Like,
the rest of
yeah,
the people
to
in the
you.
movie theater.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that got a laugh out of
You're
me.
a hater if you're not connected with
But
Professor.
yeah, it's an original movie. It's ripping off or adapting or remaking Wings of Desire. This movie is a little bit more artsy fartsy. It's really good. I really like the direction. I really like the cinematography, and it's really good. But you know, if you like Nicolas Cage for Nicolas Cage, like I did, you'll watch the other one. But I wanted to talk about my experience and introduce you to Wings of Desire. Yes, indeed, the movie that Hollywood ripped off and made City of Angels. But this is really good. And again, came out in the 80s, really good direction, really good atmosphere, and everything. Highly recommend this one. I do want to upgrade this one because unfortunately, this particular copy that I found has a little bit of water damage there. That's always sucky for my movies, but I haven't been able to find a different copy of this. So the disc plays fine, but that kind of bugs me. I need a little bit of water damage. But have you seen Wings of Desire? Did you already know that the Nicolas Cage movie is a remake of that? And did you enjoy this version over the Nicolas Cage one? Because the other version is really good because of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
but
Nicolas
this one
Cage.
is really good because of the acting, directing. Well, not the acting. Well, the acting is pretty good, but the acting, the directing, the cinematography, everything. Again, I like this one too. Let us know in the comments down below. But until we see you all again next time for the next day in Echo Zero's 80s Week Challenge, this is Professor Macabro, still recording for the Work in Progress Spooky Shed, thanking you and wishing you, like always, a good evening.
Oh.
Hey everyone, so we are now.
Oh yeah, it's Leia again.
Week, and I chose 1988 to Marry to the Mob. So this focuses on Angela, who is the wife of an up-and-coming gangster named Frankie the Cucumber. She's pretty much
That name though, Frankie the Cucumber.
All behind, since most of the things that they own have either fallen off a
I
job
don't even want to know how they came up with the idea for that name.
those things. So she then asks Frankie for a divorce, and he basically laughs in her face and tells her to just pop a Valium and proceeds to walk away from her. So then we are introduced to Tony the Tiger Russo, who is the mob boss of the Russo crime family. We see him having this affair with one of the waitresses that
The
works at one of the restaurants
cucumber.
that the crime family frequents. We also see that Frankie shows up after Tony
Was he like?
leaves
Is he
and
hung
stays
as a
in the
cucumber? Because you
hotel
know some
after
cucumbers
drinking his
are kind of
mistress
skinny.
to have his little fun with the waitress as well. Tony ends up
Might go
back at the
deep, but they
hotel
won't
where his
stretch.
mistress is, and he ends up killing both her and Frankie. So afterwards, the police show up, and we are then introduced to Mike, who is an FBI agent, and he has been following the Russo crime family very closely, and he
And
has
all
this
the ones
great
with pickles kind of
suspicion that
small.
Tony is in fact responsible for both the deaths of both Frankie and his mistress. He also believes that Angela has something to do with all of this, and he wants to conduct 24-hour surveillance on her. So at the funeral, we see a grieving
God, I haven't heard of it.
Angela
I
who
remember this
states
movie.
Tony
I haven't
would
seen it.
promise to
I don't think
console
I
her,
have, but I
as well as
remember
offer
it.
to take care of her financially in the end.
Ah, pickle ranch.
He
Is that
then
why you got it?
forcibly
Because you were
kisses
thinking
her,
about
which Angela
what's
struggles
his
to
name,
break
the
free.
pickle.
And when she finally does, she basically tells him to leave her alone and walks away. Unfortunately, Connie, who is Tony's wife, gets wind of what's transpired and ends up sending a subtle message to Angela at the grocery store the next day.
Oh, a
She ends up
subtle
taking
message.
like Angela's carton of eggs and she's like squishing them right in front of her. So you know what that means, right? So Angela, frazzled from that
In
interaction,
this day
arrives
and
home and
time,
finds a
with
bunch
the
of
prices of
random notes
eggs,
from Tony.
ooh, that'd
And
be
she quickly
war.
gets fed up and she decides to pack the necessities and take both
Given the
her
prices
and
of
her son
eggs these
with them
days.
away from their old life. She donates her house, the car, as all of the possessions that are in there to Goodwill, and she hightails it out of there and heads to New York City, where they end up in this really shitty apartment. She looks for work and is unsuccessful until she finally comes across the salon that is located
The
directly across the
salon.
street from her apartment. And she's given a chance as well as a whole new look. She cuts her hair and all. She then bumps into Mike, who has been following her the entire time, and she ends up taking a liking to him and she asks him out on a date. They end up going dancing as well as taking in one too many libations and eventually end up back at her apartment
Libations.
where they get to know each other a little bit better. Mike realizes that Angela is pretty innocent in all of this and is trying to
Yeah, you got
ensure
guys
that
running around
become
swinging the
affectionate.
cucumbers all over the place, man. You gotta be
So he
careful.
had previously entered her apartment while she wasn't
Get
there to
married to
plant
the
the fire,
mob, and boom, you gotta
and
deal with the
he ends up taking
cucumbers.
that same wire and tossing it out the window. So while they're
They
all
were
in
making a
bed,
whole bunch of these movies
comfy and
back in the
cozy
day,
with
weren't
one
they?
another, Connie ends up showing up to the apartment.
This
She's
kind of this made
teasing
this kind of stuff
since
what up until
both
some point in
Angela
the
and Tony
'90s
are there
before
to
they moved
dance
up
and
to the
flirt.
whatever the next
She realizes it's just Mike
it
there,
was.
and Angela screams for her to get the food
Ooh,
ready, which she
Ben
does
isn't likes the
for now anyway.
cucumbers.
So Angela
We
gets
take the
upset,
knife and we
and Mike
choppy choppy those
proceeds to comfort
cucumbers.
her and tell
Use
her
them to
that
make
everyone makes mistakes, and as long as you
cucumber
learn from
ranch,
them and
pickle
you grow
ranch.
from them, then you do indeed deserve a second chance. So they end up cuddled in bed for the rest of the night until the next morning, where Mike's
Ooh, they
partner,
cuddled the
who is
bed.
played by Oliver Platt, yeah, that's him, he aggressively is knocking on the door and he informs Mike that some of Tony's men were killed, I believe, by a rival gang at this fast food drive through. They attempted to kill Tony, but he managed to escape. So then Angela gets approached by the cops at her job and is brought in for questioning. She sees Mike there and is unaware of what's going on, but then learns that he's actually an FBI agent and has been lying to her the entire time.
Ooh,
She's
damn.
then told that she needs to comply with the cops or else they would have enough stuff to throw at her to put her in jail for a long time. So she does comply and gets all wired up and pretty much pretends to have interest in Tony in order to get any information that would eventually lead to him getting arrested. So they end
Cucumber.
up in Miami in this
Five.
honeymoon suite, and
$5
Tony ends up seeing Mike, and
cucumber.
he realizes that he's come across Mike several times. Once as a plumber, once as a
Uh,
pilot, and the
you
other
lost
as
me
a
at pineapple.
tourist vacationing in Miami. So Tony ends up getting his men to bring Mike back to the hotel room and to really figure out who Mike is. And he finally reveals his identity and he tells them that about 50 agents are on their way and they're going to bust through the doors and put Tony away for good. Tony calls bullshit, and then, like, out of nowhere, Connie shows up with a gun to shoot Tony because he's constantly unfaithful to her. So she
So
pretty
you had
much shoots up
seaweed.
the entire place, but
That's what I call
misses
spinach
Tony.
because it makes me think
She's
of
trying to aim
seaweed.
for his dick, but she's unsuccessful at that. Luckily for Tony, right? So then there's this shootout between Mike and Tony's men. Tony's
Oh,
men
she's trying
get
to blow the
shot,
guy's schlong
and
off, huh?
several agents end up busting through the door, and they do finally arrest Tony. So then, the end of the movie, we see Angela at her job at the salon, and Mike is pretty much begging for her to forgive him. She finally gives in, but because she remembers the night that he told her that everyone indeed deserves a second chance. So they end
You
up
sure it wasn't the
kissing and
sex that made her
embracing
give
each
in?
other, and there ends the movie.
Maybe she liked his
Happy
cucumber?
ending. So yeah, anyway, I really do love this movie, and I think also the soundtrack is pretty on point. I end up
Has it got a
watching
cucumber
the
song?
credits all the way through because it just has like a lot of bangers, like New Order, uh,
Ooh, New Order. I would.
K. Lazarus, is that how you pronounce it? Goodbye Horses, you know that song.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
on there as well. So yeah, Married to the Mob. Are you guys a fan? Have you ever seen it?
They
I hope you
they
guys
cutted the
enjoyed the
cucumber.
review. Please let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 5. Bye.
There we go. We're up to day 5 now. Whew. So we're getting towards that finish line. Remember, day 6 is going to be special. See how many people pick a romantic movie for day 6. I picked a very romantic movie for day 6. Yeah, this is this was something that we started doing in 2023, and 2024 is turning out to be a big hit. Again, thank you to everybody who is taking part of this. We have Mr. Bones, Hobbs, Nanette, Lay, Jen, Professor, Chabot, Mr. Dan. It has been a complete blast. But Lay, it has to be, you can do something extra romantic for Friday because it's, I just called to say it's Valentine's. But yeah, it's about 10 o'clock here. I got to take care of my monster who has somehow managed to, I don't know what she's doing to herself. And I got to go watch, let's see. I gotta go watch I saw that not Professor, but Hobbs has one up. Bones has one up. Chabot has one up. So I gotta go take care of my dog, and then come back and watch those videos. And there is, if you go to my playlist, there is a playlist for all the videos so far for 80's Week 2025. It's getting a long list. It's almost 30. I'm getting close to 30. But again, thanks to everybody who's joining in. It's been a lot of blast. It's been a total blast. But like I said, I have got to go. Things to do. Life sucks when doctors put you on a diet and you got to take these nasty smelling vitamin E things. Ugh. Anyways, Tuda. So I will see you on the flip side. Toodaloo.